Hello and welcome to Spirit and Life Radio. I'm your host, Jeffrey Meyer. Today is Veterans Day, and in honor of our veterans, of which I have in my own personal family, I'd like to put aside the ministry of the Word today and just share a couple excerpts on the history of Veterans Day and how it came into existence. And what about the tomb of the unknown soldier? And so perhaps for the first time, you'll learn a little bit about these soldiers and how they themselves honor the fallen. And then finally, I'm going to share some freebies for our veterans who may be listening today and are unaware of the generosity given to you in honor of your service for our country through the many businesses in the United States of America. I'll share those towards the end of the broadcast. Let's begin with the history of Veterans Day via an excerpt from the History Channel.
Soldiers from wars both old and new march down city streets. Flags hang from homes, businesses, even car antennas. Ceremonies remember those who dutifully served their nation. It's Veterans Day, or Remembrance Day, as it's known in much of the world. A time to honor members of the armed forces. And it all began in a railroad car with a document to end the war to end all wars. World War I, also known as the Great War, shocked the global community with its unprecedented toll in human life. Untold millions were killed. Germany was running low on manpower and supplies, so they agreed to sign an armistice, or truce, in the French commander Ferdinand Foch's private rail car. On the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, all was quiet on the Western Front. The fighting had ended. Exactly 1 year later, President Woodrow Wilson decreed that Americans should observe a moment of silence at 11 a.m. to remember the armistice and to embrace the peace. Other Allied nations commemorated the peaceful anniversary as well. In England and Canada, citizens wore paper poppies. Poppies had become a symbol of the armistice. The poem Flanders Field described a one-time battlefield. In Flanders Field, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row. In America, the nation's first unknown soldier was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery on Armistice Day, 1921. He was a casualty of the Great War. Since that first memorial, other unknown soldiers from America's wars have been interred in the tomb. And it's become tradition for the president or one of his representatives to lay a wreath on the monument every November 11th. A resolution was passed in 1926 inviting all Americans to remember Armistice Day and the soldiers who fought so hard for peace. The idea caught on. By 1938, the day was marked with so many ceremonies and parades, Congress made it a legal holiday, giving people the day off work. After World War II and the Korean War, Americans wanted to open up the holiday to include not just World War I veterans, but all who served in combat. In 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower, a World War II vet himself, legally changed the U.S. Armistice Day to Veterans Day, honoring those who served in all American wars. For a brief time starting in 1971, Congress moved the holiday to the fourth Monday in October, giving Americans a 3-day weekend. But most people rejected the idea. The traditional date of November 11th, the anniversary of the Great War's ceasefire, was too historically important to forget. President Ford reversed the law in 1975, returning Veterans Day back to its rightful date. Over the decades, the holiday has changed with the times. Originally, it was a call for world peace. Then in the U.S., it became a day to remember war veterans. Today, Veterans Day is set aside to honor not just those who served in war, but also those who have served their nation in peace.
And now what about the tomb of the unknown soldiers and the honor guards who served there? I think you'll find this very interesting.
On this Memorial Day weekend, America pauses to remember those who died serving our nation. At Arlington National Cemetery, honoring our fallen heroes is the full-time job of our Power Player of the Week.
To me, I think it's a privilege to have the honor to be able to guard the unknowns, because that's something that I can give back to my country.
Army Staff Sergeant Alfred Lanier is one of the leaders of the Honor Guard at the Tomb of the Unknowns. If he seems soft-spoken, just watch him do his job.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and standing.
24 hours a day, 365 days a year, a platoon of 30 guards the tomb, honoring unidentified soldiers from the First and Second World Wars and Korea. The ceremony is simple, yet powerful. A relief commander like Lanier changes the guard. Then a single sentinel keeps vigil. He walks 21 steps, pauses 21 seconds, and walks back. 21, as in a 21-gun salute, is the military's highest honor.
Once you step on the plaza, you count every step you take. Every second is a count, so you have to be precise about it. You can almost go outside and change the guard blindfold after you do it so many times.
Guards walk their post for an hour in winter, for a half hour in the blistering heat. What are you wearing in the dead of summer?
100% wool.
How hot does that get?
Get pretty hot.
Do you ever think to yourself, why are we going through all this trouble?
Not really. We're going to give them the best that we can, and that's what we're doing.
They're just as meticulous behind the scenes. Guards pull a 27-hour shift, walking their post a dozen times, then get ready to do it all over again. They steam their jackets, then put back every piece of brass precisely measured. Just shining their shoes takes 4 hours.
You shine it up from the base with kiwi and water. Everything from the sole all the way up, you shine it up.
Lanier, who's been a guard more than 4 years, prides himself on their dedication. In September 2003, with Hurricane Isabel bearing down on Washington, Lanier was told he could take shelter. Did you leave your post?
No, sir.
Wasn't the wind whipping there around at 60-plus miles an hour?
2 trees fell on the north and the south end of the plaza, but they did not endanger my life or the life of the sentinels that was there.
Lanier says Memorial Day is always a special time to stand guard.
While you're on post, the veterans be talking to you, telling you thank you for what you're doing, because they lost a lot of friends in those major campaigns that we had.
The tombs have been guarded every minute of every day since 1937. How long do you think this will go on?
The tomb will be guarded. The unknowns will be guarded. There will be a vigil pulled until we can identify each remains.
And if that goes on forever?
There will be guards out there forever.
4 million people a year watch the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknowns. If you haven't been there, be sure to include it on your next trip to Washington. And that's it for us. Have a great holiday. We'll see you next Fox News Sunday. But as we say goodbye, a special heartfelt thank you to those who have given their lives for our country.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that piece. But now let's get on with the freebies for our heroes out there who may be listening to this broadcast. I found these on the web, and let's say you're a veteran with lots of free time and big ambitions to rake in plenty of payback for your service to your country. Well, some of America's biggest and most patriotic brands have 3 words of advice for you. Go for it! And if you play your cards right on Veterans Day, and some other days too, here's how freebie-seeking veterans and active military can cash in. And I'm going to give you a list, and it's not comprehensive, and some require military ID or have other requirements. Number 1, you can get a free haircut. Veterans who visit Great Clips shops on November 11th can either receive a free haircut or a card for a free haircut to redeem by December 31st. Ain't that an awesome gift to our veterans. That's a free haircut at Great Clips. How about a free meal at Hooters? The freebie meal on Veterans Day can be worth up to $10.99, it states, with any drink purchase. Applebee's, Chili's, and California Pizza Kitchen all offer free meals from a special menu to vets and active military. That includes Denny's, McDonald's as well. Also, Starbucks is offering a free tall brewed coffee on Tuesday to all U.S. military veterans and active duty service members, and that includes their spouses as well. If you're looking for a cup of coffee early in the morning perhaps, or anytime throughout the day or evening, how about a free appetizer at the Red Lobster through Thursday? And they're offering free appetizers to veterans and active duty military. What about a free donut and coffee from Krispy Kremes? They will give a free donut and small coffee to anyone who identifies themselves as a veteran or active duty military on Veterans Day. Great free game tokens at Chuck E. Cheese will give 20 free tokens to U.S. military vets and active duty military through Saturday. And finally, IHOP offers vets and active military free red, white, and blue pancakes from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday. Well, there's a lot more out there on the web. And once again, thank you, veterans, for your service. We appreciate you. God bless you today. You'll not want to miss tomorrow's broadcast. I'm going to have a special guest on and share with you about a special event that's going to be happening in Bellingham this Friday and Saturday. Don't miss it. Dear listeners, I'd like to invite you to our Sunday service held at the Chuck Bailey Recreation Center every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. in Surrey Central City. The brand new Chuck Bailey Recreation Center is located just southeast of the Gateway SkyTrain station on University Drive and across from the Wally Athletic Park. If you'd like more information about the church and the ministry, please go to our website at www.surreycitychurch.com. That's surreycitychurch.com. And in doing so, you will also find our donate button at the top of the page. When you click on that, that will take you to our PayPal website. There you can make your tax-deductible donation by using your credit or debit card. Or, if you don't use PayPal, just follow the continue link at the bottom of the page to your left. We hope that you will support your local ministries, reminding you that we are a listener-supported radio broadcast in need of your financial support. We also hope that you're sharing this broadcast with many of your friends. Now, if you don't use the PayPal tool, you can always write to us and send in your donation to Spirit and Life Radio, suite number 491, 7360, 137th Street, Surrey, BC, V3W 1A3. That's suite number 491, 7360, 137th Street, Surrey, V3W 1A3. And on the U.S. side, you can send in your donation to P.O. Box 737, Ferndale, Washington, 98248. P.O. Box 737 in Ferndale, Washington, 98248. Canadians, please make your checks out to Surrey Central City Church. And on the U.S. side, write your checks to Spirit Life Worship Center. Please include Spirit and Life Radio in the memo section of your checks so we may receive all of you properly who give. And we want you to know we appreciate your help in keeping us on the air. It's my sincere prayer that you'll help us today by sending in your tax-deductible donation. All of our information is on our website at surreycitychurch.com. Now remember, friends, it is the Spirit who gives life. The flesh profits nothing. The words that I speak to you are spirit, and they are life. Spirit Life Radio, your spirit-filled connection.